How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Good. Oh, you have an Audi record in today.
Yes. So, I think last time we talked, I was telling you how I was thinking about doing a show, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure your dog's going to miss you quite a bit, right?
What's that?
I said, I'm sure your doggy's going to miss you quite a bit.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Going to episode of kind of like, every time when you leave in a cold evening.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to go to work.
Oh.
I'd rather walk like a few blocks.
Sure. Go somewhere else, do something else.
Yeah.
Just pretend like you're leaving. Do you know where you're going or where they're going to be sending you to?
I know where I'm going today. I'm going to Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo. Oh, okay.
Brazil. Yeah.
Brazil. Okay.
Yeah.
How long is the flight to Sao Paulo, Brazil?
10 and a half.
Oh, wow. So that's just the full shift right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. And then are you back here or do you go somewhere else?
I'll be back on Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Just Monday there, Monday go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like a layover where you get to kind of hang out and?
Yeah, 2 nights.
2 nights. Oh, that's cool.
2 nights.
That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, do you know Uber app today is doing a funny thing?
How
First,
so?
It was fighting ride forever.
Uh-huh.
And then, normally when you turn it on, you would see like that map-based thing that you see.
Oh, where the cars?
Here and there.
Sure.
But there was no car.
Really?
Yes. So it took a long time. So I'm like, okay, I have to get to the airport. So I kinda canceled because I was gonna go on Lyft.
Uh-huh.
Then I went back on.
Yeah.
It worked.
That's so interesting. And you know what's funny? So I dropped a person off and then it said navigating to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't select because it pops up and says, hey, you have a ride, you have a person. Do you want to click on it and accept the ride? And I didn't remember doing that. I don't think I did.
Really?
So it just matched us up. I don't know how it did that. Yeah.
Does they do like route tracking?
What do you mean?
Like say you're around Pratt and then Uber knows that maybe you should go pick this one 1.5 miles from
Yes, and they will do that. Yeah, they will do that if you're in the area, because essentially when you're requesting a ride, it's like a beacon, right? So whatever's around is what's going to get picked up. And so depending on whatever range you are. So whenever I do, like when I drop somebody off before I pick somebody up, if where the next one where it says, hey, do you want this one? It's usually within 5 minutes or so of whoever I dropped off. So it's usually that's how they'll do it.
Right.
And some people, they'll have to wait because it's like, oh, you're gonna be here and they are over there, so it's better to pick them up. So they'll, even if I'm 15 minutes away, in 10 minutes I'll be 5 minutes away. So they say, okay, we'll match you with the one that's the closest one, or going to be. At least that seems like how it's supposed to work.
Right. Do you recall that last June was this cool?
Yes, it was.
It was?
Snowed last June.
Oh, it did?
It snowed in June. I keep telling people about it because this is technically warmer than it was. Still terrible, but it's better than it was. Because last June it snowed until I remember on my birthday it snowed.
What day is your birthday?
The 11th.
Okay.
So yeah, it snowed until the second week, I want to say.
Let's see. I'll go back to June 11th.
Yeah. Take a look at how cold it was. It snowed a couple of times, I want to say, in June.
June 11th, 2022.
Unless it was 2021, but I don't think it was. Where it snowed.
You said June 11th?
Yeah, I want to say right around then it was cold and snowy. What was the temperature on June 11th?
I just have a picture, but if it was like snow on the 11th, I would have had it. Nope, June 11th. Took picture on the blog. There's no snow on that. Maybe 21.
So am I a year off? I don't think I was.
Let's see.
I'll have to look at all the...
Yeah, I'm home and I don't have any snow picture.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
So now I wonder what the dates were. I remember it was like one of those where I was like, this is unseasonably cold for June. I can't go outside. I don't want to. Obviously, it's my birthday. I was like, I don't want to go do anything or go anywhere.
Yes.
And then I remember it was one of those where it had snowed, but I was like, it's got to warm up soon. And I saw that it was going to warm up, so I didn't shovel. I didn't do anything with it. I'm just going to let it go.
Sure.
So it must have been right around then. But see, now I'm wondering, did I just blank out a whole year?
You'll figure it out.
I'll have to. I'll have to look it up because, I don't know. Yeah. I was talking to yesterday. I picked up a pilot for American. He was telling me all about how the whole process, how to become a pilot, what he had to do, and the whole learning, everything you have to learn, all the stuff you have to do. What surprised me about it was really interesting.
Yeah.
I really wish, like, if I didn't have a daughter, I would absolutely would have been a pilot. If I didn't have a kid, I for sure would have done it.
But you ended IT field, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so.
Right? It's the most exact opposite. I sit in a room all day. I don't do anything or go anywhere. It's the exact opposite. There's no sense of adventure.
You don't think so?
No, not for me. No.
But are you an adventurous type of personality?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love to see things that are new. I love to go new places. I love to experience new things. This is why I would have loved to have been a pilot, because you get to go around the world, and like you're taking a couple days off where you just get to go see someplace maybe you've never been. Like, I love that idea.
Yeah.
I 100% want to do that.
Yeah.
Before I had a daughter, I had an idea for a show called Citizen of the World.
Yes.
Where I would just move and live in place for 90 days. Just live somewhere new, try things out, see what life was like.
Every 90 days.
Every 90 days, go somewhere else. And it's not a travel show as much as it's a living show, because to me, I feel like that gets you a better view of a place, right? You get to see how people live, where they get the laundry done, where you get the food, where you get groceries at. You know, how does that actually operate? How does that work? And I feel like that would give us a better view of the whole world too.
Right.
I would have loved to have done something like that.
Be a digital nomad?
Yeah, digital nomad. And that is something, again, I would love to do that. And I had looked into it, but again, I have a daughter. I have to be around, so I can't do that. I can't just pack up and go, because her whole other side of her family's here too. So
that would be one time for you.
Yeah, hopefully.
To do that,
Right, it would be a great time. I told my daughter, I was like, as soon as you're 18, maybe I'm going to go be a pilot. Just so you know. Okay. I might go do that. You don't have to figure out college. We'll see. We'll see. Because I know they're at a huge deficit, right? They need to hire thousands of airline pilots just to keep up. So who knows what's going to happen if they make it or not. But in 10 years, when she's 18, maybe they'll still be an option. Who knows?
Exactly.
We'll see. How long have you been a flight attendant?
25 years.
25 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Here it's when you do the monthly bidding, everything goes according to your seniority. Like certain trip, say when you do have like new routes.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people that have higher seniority, they love to go try it, right?
Sure.
So 25 years sometimes is not enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, bidding. So what is that? Is that the process of finding what routes you're going to be on?
Correct.
So do you have to like put your name into a hat for it? Is that how that works? Or
No, we have a system. And,
Okay.
The computer would run and slot your seniority. And just say like you're number one, so you don't have to think too much. You see, oh, this is what I want to do. I want to go to Rome 4 times.
Sure.
And so the other person got 25 years. So definitely you cannot hold that. You might have to do domestic 3 legs a day.
Ah.
Yeah.
And so it just depends.
The trekking across America, that type of thing.
That's so interesting, I guess, how that's designed. So it's you picking the route as opposed to the airline saying, here's what you're going to be doing today.
No, they don't assign.
They don't assign.
They have the package for all of us to take a look.
Okay.
And then if you're senior but you do not want to go away too far, too long, you can bid for something easy.
Sure.
Fly to San Francisco in the morning, come home in the evening.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's an easy route because it's like 3.5 to 4 hours each
Correct.
way. So that's basically an 8-hour day.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be nice.
It gives us a lot of freedom in switching your schedule.
Sure.
Because some airlines in Asia, like Emirates,
Uh-huh.
Cathay Pacific, Qatar, all of those, the scheduler would assign you a roster.
Uh-huh.
And there's a limitation in switching trips.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because like say, if you assign roster to do 7 days, Dubai, Singapore, Australia.
Right.
So that way you have to, you leave Dubai Monday. By the time you get to Sydney, could be Wednesday already.
Sure.
And then you have to repeat, come back, right? So it would be a week trip.
Wow.
So
okay.
the thing that they assign roster that way is the scheduler doesn't have to deal with, positioning people around.
Sure.
So it's easier for them.
Yeah, they just go with the whole crew.
And
Yeah,
then
which makes sense.
They just stick together for a month.
Sure.
Yeah. But here we get all those freedom that we are very grateful.
Yeah.
That you don't have to do what you're assigned to.
Sure. Yeah, I imagine that's definitely a lot nicer if you're able to do that. You're able to pick and choose. Sure. So if you weren't a flight attendant, what would you be doing?
Pardon me?
If you weren't doing this flight attendant work, what would you be doing? For 25 years, what would you have done?
Corporate training.
Corporate training. I love how you had such a unique answer ready to go.
Right.
Why corporate training? How did you come to that?
Because that's in my real life. It's reality.
It's what you did before this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you like it?
I liked it.
Okay.
But I don't see myself as a corporate ladder climber.
Yeah.
I was very young, and I was the youngest one in the Department of Engineering.
Okay.
And there's a few questions that I was asked, like, who get you this job?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I get this job myself.
Right.
I have no connection.
Mm.
So, no, because the position that I was in was a little unique.
Uh-huh.
And people think me, fresh out of college, and get that position, I
Yeah.
gotta be someone special.
You must know somebody.
Right.
Yeah. To get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a very unique corporate training. I mean, I've done a lot of corporate training, and it's very interesting how I see how it's put together and
Right.
try to get people to retain. So what type of training did you do, like the HR stuff, or how to use this, how to do
operational training.
Operational training.
The fabrication and integrated circuit, like all those centrifuge, everything in the clean room.
Mm-hmm.
But I had another background from Japanese firm that I did. They call mechanical components.
Okay.
And I was working for the injection molding engineer.
Okay.
For a year and a half.
Injection molding engineer.
Yes. So like I learned about all of those because back then it was the era of floppy disk drive and computer was still huge.
Still big floppy disk drives that were the big. Okay.
You probably weren't born yet.
No.
Yeah. How old are you, John?
I'm 38. I had my birthday 3 days ago. 4 days ago.
Related. Happy birthday.
Oh,
I'm
thanks.
55.
55. You don't look it, but all right.
Thank you. So, that's how I started, and then I was like, no. I hear some friends from college and friends that I grew up with, they said, you have the personality that you should be a flight attendant. But they did not use the term flight attendant in Asia. I grew up in Bangkok, so they call steward and stewardess.
Right,
steward
and stewardess.
For like Cathay Pacific, Emirates, and all those airlines.
Sure. Yeah, and that was the term, I think, for a while, but then they became flight attendants, so it makes sense to me.
So I did.
Yeah.
And was working first class on the very, very first part of like first year. And the CEO that I was in that company from California, NS Semiconductor. One of my colleagues, she was the senior purser. She went to tell him that I was working on that flight. So I said, maybe I can say hello, or you can come say hello. So I did, and he said, anytime you would like to come back, let us know.
Oh, wow.
I said, thank you.
Thanks. Very good. Well, that's nice, at least. Yeah.
So I studied media design, so I kind of like, I have some other passion that I love.
Sure. Yeah, media design is essentially that, creating like the training. You're going to say this is what it's going to look like. Yeah. Sure.
So I now still practice photography and painting.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So
that's cool. What type of photography do you like to do?
Black and white.
Black and white, okay. And do you do still life? Do you do structures? Do you do...
Candid. Cityscapes. And all those houses, like lighting at night. When they're trying to leave, or buildings.
Sure.
That type of thing.
Oh, that's amazing. And you have a great job for it. You're going to go all over the world and you get to see stuff like that. Oh my gosh, so cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some of your stuff. I bet it's amazing. Yeah, that's really cool.
They're good. I do it just as an outlet for my own self.
Sure.
Like, I think art heals.
Yes.
Yeah, especially when you're in the service industry. If you want to be like pleasant all the time.
Oh, that's a great point.
You have to have energy.
Yes.
So in order to have that, my own time, I go into Zen mode and sit and paint, or go out and do photography, work on those things, and then you get energized from that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's an extremely valid point, which is that's the soul, that's the soul of a person, the creative part of that person. That's the core of who they are. And you have to nourish that. You have to replenish that. You have to feed it, because when you're doing the 9 to 5, like you said, you've got to be very personable to do that.
Yeah.
You have to replenish that, fill that cup, so that you've got it to give to other people.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I never put my works into the commercial. Like years ago, 2001, I did exhibit my photography in a few places. And there was this publisher from Singapore.
Oh, cool.
They were interested in it. They wanted to buy, but they didn't want to buy the whole project. They just want to pick here and there.
Sure.
And I thought, well, because they just want to make coffee table. They don't care about what you and your creator write about.
Right, just give me the pictures.
Yeah. So I didn't pursue that.
Sure.
I just ignored it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, he said, I'm not What's the term that he used? When a person is not really making effort to be famous. What's the term for that, John?
Oh gosh, when they're not trying to be famous. What is the term for that? Where they just want to, they don't care about it. They don't want to do it. I'm just doing this for fun. Yeah, I have no idea.
But there's are people like, those opportunists.
Sure. Yeah, that want to climb the ladder, want to get well known, want to get renowned.
Right.
But then there's people that are like, I'm just doing this for the fun of it,
exactly.
for creativity.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably is a term for it, but I don't know what.
Gee, brain fart.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, because like some of my colleagues sometimes they share my work with, they choose me to other customers.
Wow.
And then some customers happen to be in that field and they want to see my picture of portfolio.
Sure.
They go, "What are you doing here?"
Oh wow. Yeah.
So, but I enjoy this career.
I see. You like what you're doing. You like where you are.
Yeah.
You're doing the creativity for yourself. So then, is your painting the same thing? Black and white, doing candid, and doing.
No, painting. I do a lot of Oaxaca color type of, like Mexican.
Yeah, the bright,
color
vibrant. Oh, I love
palette.
that. Yeah.
This is the thing, John.
Yeah.
I don't dress flashy.
Okay.
All my closet is just like white tees, gray, or avocado green.
Okay.
But most of the time, I just pick white.
Okay.
I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear.
Sure.
So when you plan outside, you're very colorful inside.
I see. I get what you mean. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's where you get to express it within your paintings and what you do. Oh, that's so cool.
Because when I go out, like you know how I go sometimes. You're like, oh my God, all of this Aloha shirt doesn't look good on you.
Sure.
So I just go with just the old beat up shirt.
Yeah. It's the reason why most of my shirts are black.
Right?
Yeah, most of my shirts are black.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it. Yeah. Ever since I was a kid, my mom, I would drive her crazy. She'd try to get me colors, but I said, I just want black pants, black shirt. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. Right. And that was it. So very much the same.
Yeah, it's so simple.
Yeah. So then what type of, you have a strong palette, so do you do like forest, do you do still life, or what is it that you paint usually?
I do have like, reference from picture that I have. Say, take picture of a flower on the street.
Yeah.
Then I would just turn them into my own style.
Sure.
Yeah. Lots of texture on like brush stroke, very similar to Van Gogh.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And sometimes my flowers doesn't look like flowers. When I paint dog, some dog would look like pig or elephant or something.
Interesting.
That's what my mom said.
Okay. So you make it a little more abstract than exactly what it is.
Not really abstract, but I see things in my own way.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Sure.
So the next project that's people are going to be able to touch and feel is the children's book. It's coming out soon.
Oh, you're making a children's book?
Yeah.
What's the children's book about?
Who Tamed Who?
Who Tamed Who?
It's about rescue dogs.
Oh, how cute. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the Sylvester, the pup that we have. He's he came from the pound.
Oh.
And he basically rescued us.
Oh.
From a lot of things during COVID.
Sure.
Lots of death in family, that type of thing.
Sure.
Then one of our neighbor, she's really good with dogs. Mm-hmm. She has been telling me to take Sylvester to, like, we both can attend the session of like becoming a therapist.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, therapy dogs.
Right,
yeah, totally.
Right,
yeah. And so you're gonna attend that too?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah. But for the past, since the first year I got him, I've been doing more painting on dogs in the neighborhood.
Sure.
So in the children's book, it's gonna be the story of each dog.
Oh, how fun.
Just 20 pages.
Sure, 20 pages. And is it like a painting and the story of the dog?
Right, short story.
Short story.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
You know.
Who Tamed Who? When is it coming out?
Not yet.
Okay.
A friend of mine, she does editing, and the other one is still working on the, after the editing done, then we'll go through the process of like all those layers.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, it's the hobby that I'm gonna invest on it.
Sure.
Yeah, you might see them around Chicago.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for it. My daughter would probably love that, so
Yes.
I'm gonna keep my eye out for it. I think that's great. Yeah, and I think there's for one a great neighborhood for dogs because there's just so many.
Yeah.
There's so many over there.
Yeah.
It's just tons.
Yeah.
And that's especially during COVID. There's going to be a lot of great stories because if you saw the shelters and everything were emptied when
exactly.
COVID started, emptied. So
we had to wait like 6 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I filled out like so many forms online. Geez, I don't remember how many pet compatibility I did.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I only got one response from Feline.
Wow.
Devon. Pause Chicago. Anti-cruelty.
Sure.
Nothing. No one.
Nothing really. Is it because they were out or they just didn't like you?
They were out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because COVID, you cannot go in.
Right. So they were like,
Right.
all the animals were taken. There's probably a huge wait list. Sure. So that.
Because felines, they used to let us do the, like
foster,
volunteer, or foster.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go clean the cages or walk the dog. During COVID, you could not do anything.
Yeah, everything was shut down. So yeah.
Yeah. And plants was not enough.
No.
So I was like, I want to walk a dog, so I signed up on Rover. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rover. What was the other one? Wag was one. Where you could
Yeah.
Yeah. So there were a couple of those apps.
I did Rover.
Sure.
Does your daughter? Does she like pet? Dog
Yeah,
pet?
she does. So she has an English bulldog that I got her.
Really?
Yeah. So my friend was actually her breeder. So we have and he sold 3, but our dog was a runt, so nobody wanted to buy her because she was too small. And so he just had a newborn baby. I realized now that he had tricked me, but at the time he was like, "Oh, I just want to give your kid a dog. I want your kid to have a dog." And I helped him because he started in IT when I was in my career. He was just getting his started, so I helped him out a ton. And he's a really good guy, but his wife was like, I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't want to deal with a puppy, like a brand new puppy." And his wife was like, "Just take it as a trial, just see how it is, and if you don't want him, just give it back. But try and give away a puppy from a 5-year-old. Try and take a puppy from a 5-year-old, right? It's not going to happen." So I wasn't going to be that monster, so I was stuck with the dog. So we have the English bulldog. She chewed holes in my wall.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But sweetest dog in the world. She's the world's worst guard dog. She's friendly to everything and everyone. But she's really nice. And then with her mom, she has another dog, like a Labradoodle.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and then she also has an axolotl. Well, actually, the axolotl just died, and she has a bearded dragon.
Wow.
Yeah, so she loves animals. I gave her, I would give her an allowance, and so I gave her the allowance, and I was like, "You can buy whatever you want with it. It's your money. Here you go." And she saved up all of her allowances for like 3 months, and saved up $300 and bought a bearded dragon. And it backfired because I was like, "It's your money. Do what you want with it." So
yeah,
of course she goes and buys a giant lizard that I got to feed bugs to every day.
Very good.
Yeah. But yeah, she loves pets, loves animals. She used to like cats, but then at her mom's house, one of the cats peed on everybody's bed. And so now she's like, "Cats are terrible. We're not allowed to have cats." I was like, "All right, fine. I'm fine with that." But all right. Cats are okay, but you know what? I had a cat that if I didn't feed it at the second I got home, if I did anything else, it would pee on my bed. And so after 2, I said, "You're an outdoor cat. That's it." And then that's the last cat I ever got. Yeah, that's the last one.
I think children and pets let them raise each other is the best thing.
Absolutely.
It's like one of that, they have to do like chores.
Mm-hmm.
Certain responsibilities that you can't learn from something else in life.
Exactly. Yeah, and that was the thing I would do with my kid is called doggy dollars. All the time, if she cleaned up its poo, she fed it, she taught it a trick, we'd get her like $20, and that was also what compounded was I was giving her weekly chore money or whatever, and then the doggy dollars, she was saving those too, and she piled them all up, and before I knew it, it was like, and then when she got a leopard gecko, and she's like, every time I do the leopard gecko task I get money, every time I do the dog task I get money, every time I do this, right, she's like, plus my allowance. So like she just had me just
really.
Yeah, she's so good with money, she's too smart.
Wow. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because when they're good like that, growing up, meaning they are very disciplined,
right,
on so many aspects, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to work to earn this,
right? And to have the resourcefulness and the thought to be like, okay, I want this thing, I could save and get it, as opposed to, because most kids, you give them money, they spend it as fast as you give it to them on whatever. But for her to think, I'll save it up, I'll add it up, it'll keep compounding. And then I explained to her how I invest in things, right? Invest in the stock market and all that stuff. And she's like, how do I make my money make more money? How do I do that? So I like started to show her a little bit of that. And so then I would give her a certain budget, and then she's like, okay, take $5 and put it over to invest for later. I want it to be more money later. I was like, okay, fine. And right, and she was like 7 years old, being like, invest in this, go ahead, do that. So yeah, she really took to it, which is good. And I'm like, great, hopefully when she's older, she won't need nobody. She'll just figure out how to manage her own money. She'll be good.
She's gonna be a billionaire at age 24.
That's great. As long as she gives me a piece, I'm all for it. Are you just with the one dog, or are you going to get
one?
Just one.
I grew up with lots of dogs, big dogs, stray.
Yeah.
So living in the city, it's not fair to the dogs.
Sure. Yeah, especially if they're a big one. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's very true. Do you know how many dogs you can have legally in the city of Chicago?
You mean in your household?
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Yeah, so my daughter, because she wanted a million dogs, she's like, that was the thing she asked when we got this house. She's like, how many dogs can I get? So I looked it up because I didn't know what the answer was. So I went and I looked up what the answer is. You can have 100 dogs in the city of Chicago.
Really?
In the suburbs, they'll usually cap you at anywhere from 3 to 5 usually.
Right.
But Chicago, for some reason, you can have 100 dogs.
Okay.
And I had to tell her that, and she's like, cool, let's go, let's get 100. I'm like, no, that's not happening.
Regardless of the size of your property, you can have 100.
Yeah.
If you in the 1,400 square feet,
right,
and you can fit 100, you can do it.
Apparently, I think there's probably other laws now with the ASPCA and all that stuff. Animal Cruelty Foundation, they're gonna probably have some issue with it.
Yeah.
But legally, you can have that many dogs as long as they're well maintained, well cared for. I think it had to do with probably breeding, right? Probably people were breeding in the city of Chicago, so they had to have upper limits more than 4 and 5.
Yeah.
That's my theory, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, that's the numbers, 100. Yeah. Way too many, that's for sure.
So, yesterday I babysit my neighbors. She has the golden retriever lab.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe, it's about 70 pounds.
Okay.
Sweet. But so it's like when you're in 2 bedrooms condo, it makes the living room so small.
Oh yeah, just the dog and all the dog stuff, and yeah. That's very true.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna wait a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you really with the certain once you get to a certain size, it's good to have a yard. Even if they're not in it all the time.
Yeah.
They just need one. That's one thing where I'm very fortunate with the English Bulldog. She is the laziest dog ever. She can walk 1 block and then she's done.
Really?
That's all she wants to do. She doesn't want to do anymore. And if it's hot out, halfway through she has to lie down. She doesn't want to walk. So,
No way.
yeah. So she's very, very,
So
very
she
lazy.
likes being in the cool room, perhaps.
Yeah, cool, not too hot, not too cold.
Right.
And she just hangs out. All she wants to do is just be on your lap. She'll just sit there, and then she sleeps just all the time, all the time. Because she's a snub nose, really snub nose. So those dogs, she can't breathe. She snores all day. She just can't stop snoring.
Okay.
So she can barely breathe. So she's low energy.
Right.
Because of that. But she's like I said, she's friendly, but she's very much an apartment dog, which is nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
When we got Sylvester, he was with the foster mom, and from his bio they said he doesn't run, he doesn't bark. He goes to his crate at night like early. The only thing that he liked was gong with peanut butter.
Okay.
So we got him February 9th. It's like lots of snow. Following morning, I took him out. He was running and buried himself in the snow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So apparently, I think because he was with, this Carol, she's older. She's in her 70s.
Oh.
She probably, doesn't have like energy to walk him.
Sure.
So, and he's very adaptable.
Right. So he just went with her energy level instead.
So with us, like, 'cause when the weather is just like this, or fall weather, when it's not raining, we walk a lot. So sometimes like we can be on the walk for like 3 hours.
Sure. Wow, that's for a tiny little dog.
Yeah.
To be able to for a long walk, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to start carrying my dog after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, and I think it's good.
But I wouldn't say like 3 non-stop. We would go to the beach.
Sure.
Let him run around, sit and people watching or that type of thing. But like this month, I did the average walk when I'm home. Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Always. We leave home at 8. We will come home about 12.
Okay, that's a great walk. Nice.
Yeah.
So do you walk over to the Lake Loyola Beach over there and kind of walk around?
Yeah,
that's so fun.
Like go down Thorndale first, go to Lane.
Yeah.
And then turn left, go way down to Albion. And then sometime when the tide is low, you can just like keep on going to Loyola.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Lane is the one we live close to. And
Okay.
We walk to it. It's like 3 blocks. So it's, super close. Yeah, I love that one. My daughter loves it. We go in and swim. So in summertime, once it's 80 plus, you might see me out there with my kids.
I'm sure one of these days we're gonna bump into each other.
Yeah, we're basically neighbors, so.
Yeah. A few weeks ago, we got to Lane about 9, and there was somebody was on the beach waving at us.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. It's like, somebody's waving at us. And then when I heard the voice, like, oh my God, that's from the haircut place.
Oh.
I know that voice, right?
Sure.
So I got close to her. She went, do you remember we met at Jose Haircut? And my daughter was so interested in your dog. They just moved from Mexico.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
I
So
know.
she just happened to remember you and happened to chat with you.
Yeah,
and
when
was
she
there.
saw little Sylvester,
Yeah.
she recognized us from the distance.
Ah, how fun.
Yeah.
How fun. Oh, that's so great. Wow.
Yeah, Edgewater is a very tight neighborhood.
Definitely.
As far as like connection.
Yeah.
Especially when the family with kids and doggies.
Yeah, and I really love that. It's very social. There's like the students from Loyola, but then there's like the people that live in that area that live in Edgewater.
Yeah.
And I'm a homeowner, so I'm very much neighborly. Let's all talk to everybody like that too.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. It's a wonderful neighborhood. It has every type of restaurant, every type of food, so many
Very
great
diverse.
people. Yeah, it's so diverse. I love it. That's what I was telling my daughter. I was like, look, we go to, right, because we go to Lane Beach and then we go to Rewired Pizza after on the way back, right? And if you sit at that Rewired on a sunny day, you will see every type of couple from everywhere in the world walk by. And and it's so diverse. I love it. It's amazing. I just think it's amazing. And that's why I love living in the city. That's why I love being in a city, for sure.
Have you ever had that dark chocolate cake? The Rewired Pizza?
Oh, no, I haven't. They have a good chocolate cake there?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try it then. I did not know.
Yeah.
It's called Dog Show?
It's dark chocolate.
Oh, dark chocolate. Okay, dark chocolate cake. No, I haven't tried it. I'll have to try that. Yeah, because my daughter's she's looking forward she cares more about the pizza on the way back from the beach than the
really?
Yeah. I'm like, we can go anytime, and she's like, no, it's a thing. You go to the beach and then the pizza. You have to have them both, but that's it. But I'm like, we can go right now.
Is she a good swimmer?
No, not yet. Not yet. She's getting there. I want to take her to maybe get swim lessons or something too, to have her be a little better. I try and help her out. She swims okay. She's learned a little now, but yeah, she definitely just needs more practice. I think more access to a pool. And that at Lane Beach, it's not really swimming. She's not tall, but she's pretty tall for her age. But she's only like 4 feet, 4 something.
Okay.
So she just doesn't get to swim as much, but she swims a little.
Right.
Yeah, she needs more practice. Do you have a ritual in your head that you use to get ready to go get in service mode as you're approaching the airport?
I just stay in the Zen mode.
Yeah, just stay in the Zen mode. Think happy thoughts.
I normally start going chanting.
Okay.
Early before I get dressed.
Ah, okay.
And I give myself 3 to 10 minutes and.
Sure. That's so important. Yeah, I do transcendental meditation as soon as I wake up, 20 minutes before I do anything else.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the first thing in the morning. And then I do my workout and do all my other stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the first thing for me is to meditate.
Have you ever read anything about Four Noble Truths?
No.
No.
What is that? No, how is that? What is that?
Four Noble Truths is the Buddha, Lord Buddha, who got all of this teaching in India 2000, some 500 years ago, maybe more than that.
Right.
That's when he got enlightened. He came up with the Four Noble Truths, and Four Noble Truths is about life, starting with the suffering. Life is a suffering.
Sure.
So you just remember that word, and you can find out yourself.
Sure. Yeah, I'm definitely.
Because I'm still learning.
I gotcha.
So
my friend is a Buddhist, actually.
Okay.
He's just recently converted. He goes to a Buddhist temple. He volunteers for them.
Right.
He's really throwing himself into it.
Right.
So I'm definitely going to talk to him about that as well. He says that a lot of the Buddhist teachings are about that, dealing with the person. He says it's really helpful for anxiety because a lot of it, it's not called anxiety, but your thoughts, the inner mind,
the monkey mind.
The monkey mind, exactly, and the conscious desires, and exactly, and so managing those ideas and how to manage that, which I think is pretty interesting.
The Air Force Academy started to teach transcendental meditation a few years ago. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool.
But before World War II. Japanese soldier, in Japan, that Zen meditation is quite big.
Sure.
From like 7th, 8th century.
Sure.
In Kyoto, the former capital city.
Okay.
So during the war, a lot of high rank military, they practice meditation with Zen monks.
Sure.
And they use that to train all of those kamikaze pilots.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Besides all of that, when you go in those kung fu karate, all of the thing that you just use your hand,
right,
and everything, all of that, the energy also, you could start doing all the transcendental meditation and focus your energy.
Sure.
Because your inner energy, your inner strength, it's very powerful.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it could be, I think it makes sense where the types of karate and kung fu and all of these body works are a type of meditation that you're doing with the body. At least if you're doing like kata and things like that, right? Where it's like a specific thing. Right. It's almost like that. And you're having to focus on only the movement, only what you're doing, which has a tendency to clear the mind, which is exactly like mantra meditations and meditation.
John, you're about to drop me off. We haven't said anything funny yet today.
Oh gosh, it's because I'm not funny. That must be it.
No, last time we were talking, but today it's just like more of like spiritual. Because you asked me the term that you use, spiritual.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I can't wait for our third conversation. I promise I'll be more funny. Okay.
No, you don't have to. Yeah. John, it's good seeing you again.
Likewise. Yeah, and like I said, we're basically neighbors. So
I know.
Next time you come to work, it'll probably be me. Who knows?
Yes. Oh, I will probably see you and your daughter.
Definitely.
You have a nice evening.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right. Happy Father's Day, sir.
Oh, thank you so much.
Bye, John.
Bye.